Well, cheers. Or I should cheers. Water's over there, and that's the only thing that's in there. Good evening. Dealing with high emotion. I know that sometimes when people begin healing their trauma, one of the things that triggers them is high emotion. When people get triggered, other people, let's say, around them. For example, I remember once we were standing in the back room, boss was there. Boss was angry about something, or I'm going to say maybe frustrated, but he started raising his voice, and that triggered one of the girls because that was how she'd been treated, something, whatever, how that happened, but it triggered her. So she started to cry, um, which frustrated the boss even more. He ended up leaving, um, not the company. He just left the room. Anyway, and there was an age difference, so different generational things going on there. Whoops. I'm going to start this over. Ha 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 ha. Because I have to do this. Maybe not. Anyway, I'm getting used to syncing this whole Instagram thing because you have to go live here and then you have to go live there. Anyway, dealing with high emotion. As I was saying, the boss was frustrated about something, raised his voice, she got upset. And so, how do you come to that place of dealing with high emotion? Because we may have our own. Right? Just because you get healed from trauma does not mean you will not have high emotion, positively and or negatively. You know, people think of high emotion, and the example I just used was somebody who gets angry. Well, high emotion can also be very positive. There are moments in intimacy that I've had that have been almost overwhelming in their awesomeness, their amazingness, the level of energy. That's okay. And like I said, almost overwhelming. What it takes is capacity and resilience in your nervous system to deal with high emotion. Because if you have that within yourself, then whatever somebody else does, okay, that's their issue. That's not your issue. And the only way you can separate those two is by having this capacity and resilience within yourself from having healed. So what happened? Okay, think of it. Well, here, all right. I got my coffee cup, right? And I'll do this so that the top isn't such a visual issue. So if it's filled with coffee right to the brim, okay, and it's standing, just right here on the edge of my barely. See that? All right, that's what it's like. That's sometimes how people are. It's on the edge of my CD player now, and that's oh, ha ha ha. Yep, and that's exactly how Dang, I think I might have been muting myself. I hope not. Anyway, I guess we'll find out. One of the things that we don't want to do is shut down or stay in fight and flight. So as we discharge from our body all of this energy from these cycles, it creates space in the coffee cup. And that allows then for me to be able to navigate and handle others, because somebody might come along and bleh all over. And I can then look at this. There's two things I can do, right? I can just say, hey, whoa, boundary right there. I did not ask for this. Or we can say, this person has an issue and they came to me. Cool. All right. What's the best way for me to help this person find some relief or some resolution? I'm not going to have the answer. I'm not going to worry about having the answer. I am not that person's salvation. They are. What they need and want at that time is somebody to validate and witness their experience, which is not hard to do. It just requires you being a little bit open. And the only way we can be open is if we have space. And the only way we can have space is to discharge all the junk, all these accumulated stress cycles in us that are taking up our space. And I know that's simplifying it a little bit, but that's what happens. As we do that then, and then the heart opens up, and we become vulnerable, this allows us to handle the high emotions of others. Now, if my boss comes to me and starts to rail on me because of how I messed something up, granted, the process necessarily of him raising his voice and blah, 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 he can equally come to me and say, you really messed up here. And we need to figure out what's going on. Simply said, right? Or he can, get in my face, call me stupid, lazy, dumb, blah, blah, blah. And that's a poor way of handling that. But if I know that's not the case, I can just listen. And then when I have an opportunity, I respond. I could cut the person off. I could just walk out. Say, listen, nobody talks to me this way. See ya. And that might be burning a bridge. Whereas if I give this person an opportunity and they can dump, then I can say, listen, I appreciate you bringing this to me because you're right. I remember the day. I remember the incident. It was my bad. Yep. I hear you. Here's what really happened. And you don't get to talk to me that way. I expect better from you. You come ask me a question. I'll give you an answer. We'll have a productive conversation. But you can't come down here and berate me. Or it all depends on all kinds of things. But I have now what's happening in me while this person is, even if I'm cool, calm, and collected and waiting for this person to finish, my insides could be in a turmoil. It's my own high emotion, right? And my voice might come out as like I just did. Listen, I understand you have a problem. And this is what really happened. You don't have all the facts. And then you find out, oh, well, gee, I was never told that, or I was never taught that, or so forth and so on. And then that's back on them. But here's the thing is that when you have these situations that are like that, you might, if somebody comes to you suddenly, blah, 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 it is natural to have somewhat of a reaction. It's natural. It's okay. It's high emotion. But if I have capacity and resilience in here because I got rid of stuff and I've learned about my own emotions, then it's easier to say, that's about them, not me. And then I just get to listen. And if it's unjustified, it's unjustified. Okay, that wasn't me. It's not my signature on that form. I told the guy to put it over there. Where he put it, I have no idea because I was busy. I don't stand back here and supervise people at work. especially a vendor. Not my job. But you see what I'm saying? That's how it's easy to handle high emotions. Well, not easy. It's a lot easier and more comfortable because I have something inside of me here. I have me in here. I don't have those triggers anymore. That's what it means because when you complete and discharge, you complete and discharge triggers too. It's a wonderful thing. So anyway, just wanted to share that with you, that to be able to handle and direct high emotion into, because there's a couple of things going on, right? I've used some examples. There could be ruptures in that relationship. Now we want some repair. That's one of the things that we do to direct that. Because I could also then say, okay, well, there's a couple of things here that I has never taught that, never heard about this, yada, yada. What would you like me to do about this situation? They then might in turn say, well, there's nothing really you need to do. Or if I did violate some rule or procedure or protocol, what would you like me to do? They might tell you, and then you do it. And that's directing that energy. Now, mind you, if you have the skill and nobody else does, this will put you in good stead, especially in workplaces, especially in relationships and neighborhoods where you're trying to develop a bit of a community, because boy, there's going to be conflict. I tell you that. This is a great skill to have, having this ability, this capacity, and this resilience, because now by being that way with somebody else, I have now, what I'm looking for. I got the feeling. I have given them a safe place to be. And their nervous system notices that. They may not like what I believe, but they know that they have a safe place here. And that is important. That is where you build community. So if you're working a room, sometimes some business adventure, or you go to a conference or something like that, you can walk around and learn how to work a room safely. That's pretty amazing. I did it once decades ago before I knew anything about healing. All it was a self-protected measure. My friend called me up the next day and said, man, you were the hit of the party. Everybody was just astounded at what a good conversationalist you were. And I was like, cool, because I really did nothing but ask questions. All the direction got pointed at somebody else. Kept it off of me because I felt like I was odd man out at that event. Let me tell you. So cool. I put all the attention outside of me. But to be able to bring those unifying movements and those places where people can feel emotionally safe, if I allow for that, because I have capacity and resilience, then I can start building bonds with people. And one of the best ways to help people is, if you see they're doing something, can I help? Whether, they're trying to lift something up into the back end of the truck. Well, guess what? Relative to all my neighbors, I'm the strongest guy around here. And if I see that, I can jump in and help because I know I can do it. And that helps. That just creates that bond. So I'll have to look at this video later and see if I did spill coffee. I can still see some of it. And I also turned on the mute mic, and I don't know if that affected this or not. I will find out. If you need more information and you want that type of capacity and resilience, get a hold of me at Lecky at raiseyourresilience.com. Raiseyourresilience.com. Go there, check it out, see what's going on. And then if you have questions, you know where to find me. Thanks. Have yourself a great weekend. Bye.